played the game. I'm explaining the stats to it because you can't view them in game, unfortunately. Let me quickly show you the stats of all of them, alright? For the people that are wondering, here are the stats. So Florent first, on the left is the old Florent. Let me zoom in more. On the left is old Florent, okay? On the right is new Florent, Soul Bursted Florent. So for Soul Burst Florent, its health and defenses all go up to 100s. Its energy goes up to 80, and its melee attack goes up to 123. It also has power jaws, so Florent has the biggest chomping damage. Florent has the big boy chomps now. So yeah, that's a Soul Burst Florent. Gets tankier and becomes a big, hard-hitting melee attacker with power jaws, big boy damage. Next up is Gasstroke. Gasstroke is basically just like, might as well just give it like what it's good for, right? So it gets it gets 25 health and 25 range defense. It gets 20 range attack, a little bit more speed, and a little bit more melee. Oh no, a little bit more energy. So I did say earlier I might buff Gasstroke. The reason why is normal Gasstroke, I might just flip the melee stats. So in the future, Gasstroke might have 35 melee attack and 55 melee defense, which means on the Soul Burst one, these two might switch potentially as well. So yeah, these ones might flip because, I mean, the melee defense is still really low. Also, it has insulateds. Oh, I actually didn't... Bug plants. This one's Earth, by the way. Soul Burst one is Plant Earth. Plant Earth with insulateds. So it isn't quad weak to ice, and it's not weak to fire anymore. Next up is a Ruptidon. You're also Earth type. A Ruptidon gets... it basically gets its old range attack stat back. It gets a little bit more melee attack. Its health and energy don't increase, it doesn't really need them. Its speed goes up by a little bit, and then its defenses go up by a little bit. Ruptidon is already pretty good. I don't think it really needed that much of a buff. I mean, its range attack being increased, and it still has Pyro, but instead of Pyro, it's Pyro Pro. So instead of your fire type moves costing 25% energy, it only costs 10% more energy. So your Fire Breath should only be like 55 energy instead of like what, 63? And also you now have Earth Stab. The only issue is like, yeah, you become quad weak to water, I guess, which isn't like super great. Next up is Krakaloa. I forgot the spirit type. Krakaloa gets is that 30? Yeah, it gets 30 health. 10 melee defense, 10 range defense, and it gets 40 range attack. But yeah, Krakaloa becomes Fire Spirit typing, one of the best defensive types in the game. Good luck. It also gets Applied Frustration, so if you try and lower Krakaloa's stats, it's gonna hit harder. Oh boy, it is pretty good. And then lastly is the Stratosaur one. Stratosaur gets its health stays the same, it gets 20 new energy, so it can fire off more moves. Melee attack goes up a little bit. The defenses actually drop a lot. Melee defense goes down by 10, range defense goes down by 30. Its speed increases to 119, which is the exact same speed tier as Zulong, and its range attack goes up to 135. So now Stratosaur isn't bulky, it is fast and offensive as heck. So yeah, it loses a lot of stats for those. It also has Turbulence. Turbulent makes all of its high plus moves change into air type moves and then do more damage. So, nice.